Welcome back to my channel, PROA TV. Just pulled up to the gym here. Hot. So I'm doing a quick vlog, just giving you guys my thoughts on what I think about the iPhones, the new iPhones that just came out. I'm an Android user. I have been for years, since 2008. And this is by no means no bash, no nothing. Just giving you guys my opinions. Obviously I think Android's better, but it is what it is, in my opinion. This is what I think about. So I'm just gonna cover like the main little features that they went over, the ones that stood out the most to me, and give you my thoughts on that. And then we'll go over the pricing, and then I'll give you guys a little quick my thoughts. And so let's go over some of these features. So some of the ones that stood out to me was wireless charging, quick charging, the bezel-less on the iPhone 10, facial recognition, and augmented reality. Okay, because the reason why they stood out the most to me was because it all comes from Android. You know what I mean? For example, wireless charging is 2011 for Android, facial recognition 2012, augmented reality a year and a half ago. Quick charge, Androids have had quick charge for years, so that's the only reason why it popped out to me. Those are like the biggest ones that popped out to me. So I'm just gonna give you quick thoughts on everything, on why I think, what I think about them. Obviously, like I said, they're all from Android, from previous Androids from years ago, going back to 2011, and it's 2017 going into 2018. They're finally getting these features. So as far as the wireless charging goes, I think I'm glad to see iPhone do it finally. I think that people like Starbucks, McDonald's, all these places you go to, the airport, I think they're gonna incorporate wireless charging somewhere, sitting down at a table while you're having your coffee, sitting in the airport, just waiting, chilling, whatever. I think that because Apple did it, everybody's gonna start doing something. Everybody wants a piece of that, So, since they did it, everybody's gonna jump on that train. So it's a good thing that they did it, because since Androids have had it for so many years, we don't really benefit from it. So we just have the features, and nobody really talks about it. One of the downfalls in Android, I think, is marketing. I don't think we market our features the way we need to do it. What else? Quick charging. I think it's a very useful feature, because remember back in the days where you used to charge your phone overnight, or took 3 hours to charge your phone, 4 hours, whatever. With all my Android phones that come with quick charging, I can't stress enough how good of a feature it is. Because think about it like this: you come home from work, you're at 40%, and you sit there, you're on social media, you're bullshitting online, whatever, and then you go to bed and there's 15% left, right? You go to sleep, you forget to charge it, or if you're like me, I intentionally don't charge it. Then I get up in the morning, plug it in, get ready, go. By the time I'm out the door, 100%. And the best, I think the best company to do it was OnePlus with their dash charging. So I think it's a really, really useful feature, and I'm glad to see iPhone finally jump on board. The bezel-less on the iPhone 10. I think the bezel-less display. I think the phone looks pretty dope, honestly. But I can't sit here and tell you it's the nicest bezel-less display. That cut off on the camera is gonna cut your screen off. So whatever, it is what it is, People are gonna buy these phones regardless. So, facial recognition. Oh, and again, Android was the first phone to release a bezel-less display. When the Sharp Aquos came out, that was the first Android device to have a bezel-less display, and that was years ago. So, facial recognition. is a feature that Android's had since 2012, and we all know as Android users you can put a picture up and it'll unlock your phone, like of yourself. You can bypass that with the picture. With iPhones doing it, supposedly they're using a different technology, where it actually uses features on your face to actually recognize your face and your structure and stuff. Is it gonna work? I mean, it's gonna work, but I have a feeling you're gonna be able to put a picture to it and it'll unlock. But I don't know for sure because it's not out. Well, nobody has it right now, so we don't know how you can play with it. We don't know all the features. Nobody's reviewed it yet. So, but we all saw how it failed twice on the at their event, and people say iPhones don't glitch. Another feature that I didn't like that they claimed was the augmented reality. Why? Because they weren't the first phone to do it. If they would have came out and said the first iPhone to have augmented reality, cool, whatever. But they said the first smartphone to do it. That kind of bugged me a little bit. But they've done things for years, and like I said, Android's been doing these, has had features for years, and honestly, it is what it is. People are brainwashed by Apple a little bit. I don't like them, like I said. And to say that they started augmented reality, I remember Sony Xperia. I had an Xperia years ago, and the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because I think I saw on their event where they're taking a picture, and you can see like a dinosaur walking around or something like that. Xperia's been able to do that for years. The Zenfone 3 right now, I think it's the Zenfone 3 or the Zenfone 4 is killing it with the augmented reality. So don't claim something that's not yours. So I mean, like I said, if they would have said the first Apple or the first iPhone to do it, that's cool. As far as, I want to talk about the iPhone 10 a little bit, and the only reason why they brought out the iPhone 10 this year was because it's 10th year anniversary. So they had to do a special edition. I think that if you take away something from your customers, like the fingerprint reader, I think you shouldn't price it so high, because you're taking away a feature. You're adding a feature on, that's cool, whatever, but why take it away? Why replace it? Why replace it with something? So you're in your car, or you're getting out in the store, and you need your phone. You need to pay. You need to pay, right? You don't have a fingerprint reader anymore, right? So how is that gonna work? I don't know. I'm just asking. And especially with Apple Pay, they used to have the fingerprint reader right there. You pay, right? But to unlock your phone, I think they took away one of the most practical ways to unlock your phone. You pull it out of your pocket, boom, unlocked, right? I think now you gotta go like this to unlock your phone. Or I mean, if a lot of people might not use it, they might just swipe up. But at the same time, or I still see people that don't use iPhone users that don't use their fingerprint reader to unlock. I still see codes being tapped in all the time. So, oh well. Pricing. I've always said iPhones are overpriced. Always said this, because let's put it in this perspective real quick. So, one of the reasons why, or one of the only ways to wirelessly charge your phone is to have a glass back, right? iPhone 4 and 5 had glass backs. During those times, Androids had wireless charging. They were capable of doing that. Why not do it back then? You know what I'm saying? So now that they're finally adding it to it, now you're going to bump up the price when you could have done it a long time ago. The technology was out. See what I'm saying? So this is why I don't like Apple, is because they focus more on the brand name than they do on the technology. They could have done this years ago. They decided to do it now. One of the smart things that Apple did was 64 gig, 256. People are gonna buy either or. People buy iPhones all year long. I think it's I think to pay $699 for an iPhone 8 for a 64 base model, no expandable storage. In my experience, 16 gig iPhone was useless. On an Android phone, 16 gigs is pretty good because the majority of those phones are going to give you expandable storage, right? 32, I saw so many of my friends going back to return them to get a 64. I even saw people with 64 that didn't even have enough space. So why not just release a 128, 128 and 256? Make them base models. For $699, a 128, I think that would be a reasonable price because you're paying for storage. You know what I mean? I'm not talking about the functions and all that shit because we all know some of those functions are so, iPhone is so stale and it's so boring. They don't have real, actual gimmicky features. They have a few now with the emoji thing that they're doing, whatever that shit is. But $699, $799 for the iPhone 8 Plus, for the 64 gig iPhone 8 Plus, and then $1,000 for the iPhone 10 for the 64 gig. You're looking at $1,200 roughly for this 256 iPhone 10. Like I said, I think they're overpriced. And as a smartphone user, as a smartphone perspective, for $930, $950, $960, whatever your carrier sells the Note 8 for, why not pick up that instead? Fingerprint reader, they're not shorting you and taking away a feature that everybody has, The S Pen. S Pen is the dopest and most unique feature on any smartphone. And I'm not fucking claiming Samsung and I'm not praising them. I think that their UI was so laggy for so many years, but I got my S8 and I could finally say, good job Samsung for not making a laggy system. UI. And now with 6 gigs of RAM on the Note 8, I think finally they pushed enough RAM for it to function right. I hated people hearing the iPhone 7 doesn't lag, blah blah. I had the iPhone 7 and it lagged all the time. But finally Galaxy S7. Sorry, the Galaxy S7. Galaxy S8 doesn't lag. So for a ton of more features, useful features, iris scanner, fingerprint scanner, facial unlock, $930, you're saving yourself $70. I think that's a better buy. The LG V30, dope camera, dope screen. iPhones finally have an OLED display. Finally, I think an OLED, Super AMOLED, whatever, those are the best displays on any phone, hands down. LG V30, dope ass camera, good size. I'm guessing, I don't know the price for the V30, but I'm guessing it's gonna cost around $600 to $700, maybe $750. But you're getting so many more features. You're getting expandable storage. You're getting wireless charging. You're getting IP68. I'm just giving out options. Like I'm trying to justify the $1,000. You know what I mean? Why would I go out of my way? Like I said, people are gonna buy it. Whatever. But for feature-wise, for what I use, the Pixel XL2 is about to come out. That's roughly going to be around $650, $700. That's the only phone I would say, Nexus or Pixel, I think those are the only phones that literally go head-to-head with iPhones and say, my phone can do this, my phone can do this, and actually compete head-to-head, because those are the bread and butter for each company. The Pixel is the bread and butter that's Google's baby. This is what Android is about. This is, and the iPhone is the iPhone. But when you start comparing a Galaxy Note to an iPhone, the Note crushes anybody. I don't care who you are. When you have a V30 and you have all these extra features that your phone doesn't have, You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm trying to justify the $1,000 price. And like I said, people are gonna go out and buy it. Whatever, good for you. Like I said, I'm not an iPhone user, so these are just my quick thoughts. Another feature that Another camera feature that the iPhone has, the slow motion. It's like 240 frames per minute at 1080p, I think. The new Sony Xperia does super slow motion, which is like 920 or 930 or something like that frames per second at 1080, I want to say. That's super slow motion. That's a dope feature. You know what I mean? So I'm just saying, I'm trying to justify these prices and why they cost that much. I'm trying to give you guys just my opinion. Take it however you take it. I don't care. You know. Um, so yeah, that's my thoughts on the new iPhones. Go buy them if you want them, or don't. Don't. Doesn't hurt me any different. So I'll check you guys on the next one. Peace.